Welcome to Whispers and Confessions. There might be a twist waiting, so please make sure to watch until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Let's begin right away.
We watched their passionate moments with fascination, taking in every moment. Each subtle movement and tender gesture amplified our own arousal, creating an electric feedback loop of desire. I'm Oscar, 37 years old. My wife Lisa and I live in Maplewood, a charming small town in the American Midwest, where our suburban home sits pretty with its white picket fence and cozy garden. We've made this our home for the past 5 years. While our careers took different paths, I'm in tech at a local IT firm and Lisa teaches part-time at the community college. We have amazing chemistry together. I'll never forget meeting Lisa at our neighborhood coffee shop. The moment I saw her there, engrossed in her book and chatting warmly with the barista, her intelligence just shone through. Though petite at 5 feet 3 inches with a slim frame, Lisa's got this incredible way of handling everything life throws at her, from work to home, with such grace and attention to detail. When we first tied the knot, Lisa wasn't exactly what you'd call a fitness buff. She was more of a homebody, perfectly content with her books and TV shows. But when I floated the idea of picking up tennis together, for health and quality time, she jumped right in. Now our Saturday mornings at the local tennis club have become something special, and watching each other get better at the game is just the icing on the cake. Nothing beats seeing how far Lisa's come with tennis. From barely knowing how to hold a racket to finding her groove on the court, it just fills me with pride. Those moments when she nails a serve and breaks into that radiant smile, pure gold. And let me tell you about what happens after our tennis sessions. There's this whole different vibe between us. Post-game shower time is something else. Lisa's cheeks all flushed from playing, both of us still catching our breath, hearts racing in sync. She's usually pretty reserved when it comes to intimate moments, but something about the physical activity and natural contact during tennis brings out this more uninhibited side of her. When she changes out of her tennis gear into one of her breezy cotton dresses, even though she's still got that shy thing going on, there's this hidden fire in the way she responds to my touch. It adds this whole new dimension to our everyday life. Life took an interesting turn when we connected with another couple at the tennis club, Verr and Mary. They're neighbors too. Verr's in accounting at a local firm, and Mary recently left her nursing job at the city hospital to focus on home life. Since we were around the same age and had similar skill levels on the court, we hit it off right away. Now Mary, she's got a completely different vibe from Lisa. Her tennis outfit, this cute little skirt and tank top combo, really shows off her athletic figure. She's got curves in all the right places, full, firm breasts, tiny waist, and these incredibly toned legs from years of staying active. Her graceful movements during serves are captivating, especially the way she moves with such natural athleticism. I find myself admiring her form sometimes, feeling both a little excited and guilty about it, occasionally even thinking how lucky Verr is. But here's the thing. Our marriage is rock solid, built on this foundation of complete trust and love. We're mature enough to know that finding others attractive is just part of being human. What matters is how you handle those feelings, right? After matches, the four of us hang out over drinks and great conversation. Lisa and Verr get deep into talks about the economy and investments, while Mary and I keep things light and casual. It's all about maintaining healthy boundaries, which only makes the bond between me and my wife stronger. One afternoon, I was heading to the supermarket after work to pick up something Lisa had asked for. As the golden sunset painted the sky, I noticed a woman in distress, leaning over her car's hood in the parking lot. She wore a light blue sundress that, as she bent forward examining the engine, gracefully outlined her athletic figure. I pulled up to offer help, and as I got closer, I recognized Mary. Her expression brightened with a mix of relief and what seemed like genuine pleasure at seeing me. The early evening light caught the delicate fabric of her dress, subtly highlighting her silhouette. Mary welcomed me with a warm hello and a handshake that lingered just a moment too long, making my pulse quicken. The problem turned out to be a dead battery. As we both peered under the hood, I couldn't help but notice how her dress revealed more than it concealed. My eyes wandered despite my best efforts, and I had to remind myself that such reactions were only natural. I retrieved my jump cables and got to work, trying to maintain a professional demeanor while feeling Mary's eyes on me. After connecting the batteries, she surprised me with a spontaneous hug of gratitude. The embrace caught me off guard, the soft pressure of her body against mine, the subtle notes of her perfume, and my heart raced. Keeping my voice steady, I asked her to try starting the car. The engine turned over successfully, and I shared some quick tips about battery maintenance. Mary thanked me again before driving away, and I stood there trying to tell myself it was just a thank you hug. When I got home, Lisa greeted me in her apron with a, "How was the shopping?" Only then did I realize I'd completely forgotten my errand. I explained about running into Mary and helping with her car trouble. Lisa responded with an understanding, "That was nice of you." But I chose not to mention the hug. Though innocent enough, it somehow felt better left unsaid. That night in bed, Lisa and I shared an especially passionate encounter, though my mind kept drifting to thoughts of Mary's curves. I held Lisa closer, touched her more tenderly than usual, as if trying to chase away those intrusive thoughts. Lisa responded with matching intensity, but afterward, I was overwhelmed with guilt. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a text from Verr. To thank me for helping Mary, he invited us over for dinner that Saturday. He suggested skipping our usual tennis match for a casual evening at their place. I knew I should consult Lisa first, but I couldn't imagine her objecting. After all, she and Verr always hit it off talking about business stuff. If I'm being honest, though, the prospect of seeing Mary again gave me a little thrill. Even as I questioned whether these feelings were going too far, I found myself quickly accepting Verr's invitation. The much-anticipated Saturday finally arrived. Lisa had taken extra care with her appearance, wearing an elegant beige dress accented with a pearl necklace that perfectly captured her sophisticated style. We picked up a nice bottle of wine as a hostess gift. Verr and Mary's place was a beautiful two-story home in pristine condition. When they opened the door, the mouth-watering aroma of fresh herbs, rosemary and basil, wafted out to greet us. Mary, in her apron, welcomed us with notably more warmth since our encounter in the parking lot. As she guided us to the living room, she casually linked her arm through mine, sending a flutter of nervous energy through my body. Mary had prepared an Italian feast. The table was artfully set with homemade pasta, risotto, and a fresh salad. The meal became even more enjoyable when Verr uncorked some excellent red wine. As everyone got more relaxed from the wine, the atmosphere grew increasingly relaxed. During our conversation, I felt Mary's foot brush against mine under the table. The contact was so brief, I couldn't tell if it was intentional or not. I tried to maintain my composure while Lisa and Verr carried on their animated discussion about economic trends. After dinner, we moved to the living room where Verr set the mood with some smooth jazz and dimmed lighting. The conversation flowed naturally from tennis to sharing stories about our daily lives and how we'd all met. As things got more personal, I excused myself to use the bathroom. As I stepped out, Mary was waiting in the hallway. She moved close and whispered, "I see the way you look at me. I like it." Her words left me speechless, and then she took my hand and pressed it against her chest. The soft warmth beneath my fingers was unmistakable. "Don't let this opportunity slip away tonight," she murmured before slipping into the bathroom. I stood frozen, wondering if I had imagined the whole encounter. Back in the living room, I found Lisa and Verr sitting together on the couch, deep in conversation. Lisa's cheeks were flushed pink from the wine, her voice sounding more playful than usual. Watching their intimate conversation stirred an unexpected jealousy in me, while guilt over my hallway encounter with Mary gnawed at my conscience. As the wine continued to work its magic, everyone's posture grew more relaxed. Verr sank deeper into the sofa cushions, and Mary leaned back against him, her dress riding up just enough to showcase her toned legs in the soft lighting. When she caught me looking, she smiled knowingly and raised her wine glass in a subtle toast. Then, Mary set down her glass and spoke in a hushed voice that held just a hint of nervous energy. "I recently heard something interesting from some close friends of ours," she began, her voice carrying a slight tremor. "Have you ever heard of couple swapping?" The atmosphere in the room instantly became tense. Lisa's knuckles went white around her wine glass, while Viter's gaze fixed blankly on the ceiling. Mary, however, continued with unwavering confidence. "Some close friends of ours have experienced it," she revealed. "They said it took their relationship to a whole new level, opened up dimensions they never knew existed." Her voice dropped to an intimate whisper. "I want us to explore that too, but only with a couple we completely trust." The weight of her suggestion hung heavy in the air, met with stunned silence from everyone present. Without warning, Mary turned and captured Viter's lips with hers. Though initially caught off guard, he soon melted into the kiss, his hands finding their way to her waist as their embrace deepened. Lisa and I exchanged glances, our hands meeting as I noticed the mix of shock and curiosity coloring her cheeks. We remained rooted to the spot, overwhelmed by this unexpected turn of events. The tension was palpable, making each breath feel labored. I could sense Lisa's inner turmoil through her trembling hand in mine. Viter and Mary became lost in their own world, seemingly oblivious to our presence. Their kisses grew more passionate, their caresses more daring. Despite ourselves, we couldn't look away from this intimate display. It felt like crossing a line right before our eyes. With tender care, Viter wrapped his hands around Mary's shoulders and eased down her dress straps. The dim light cast gentle shadows across the room as he traced kisses down her neck with gentle devotion. Their passion intensified with each passing moment, their breathing becoming more urgent as layers of clothing fell away. The room was filled with the subtle scent of her perfume. In that charged moment, my restraint crumbled. One look at Lisa revealed a smoldering desire in her eyes that I'd never witnessed before. Without exchanging words, we reached a silent understanding, our usual restraints melting away. Lisa's lips quivered, but her eyes held unwavering certainty. I moved toward her with deliberate care and pressed my lips to hers. What began as a gentle caress quickly deepened into something more intense, our breathing growing heavy and synchronized. The heat radiating from Lisa's body was extraordinary, far more intense than our usual intimate moments. The passionate sounds from Viter and Mary beside us heightened our own desires. What was unfolding before us was more intense and electric than anything we could have imagined. A raw, intimate reality that transcended any fantasy. With deliberate tenderness, I undid Lisa's buttons one by one, my lips trailing softly against her exposed skin. The atmosphere crackled with an unfamiliar tension as her breathing deepened and quickened. When my hands found her breasts, she responded with newfound passion, each gentle caress drawing out new sensations. Lisa's gaze burned with a passion I had never witnessed, her usual reserve giving way to bold exploration as her hands roamed across my body. Our desire grew stronger with each passing moment. When my lips found Lisa's neck, her whole body quivered with anticipation. Her fingers traced delicate patterns across my body, each touch igniting sparks of growing desire between us. Gone was her usual reserved demeanor. In its place was a passionate woman whose bold exploration sent waves of excitement through me. Our connection reached new heights of intensity, and every shared glance between us kindled an even deeper flame of desire. The temperature in the room seemed to rise with our mounting passion, all four of us breathing heavily in the charged atmosphere. We were discovering sensations that felt entirely new and electric, the intoxicating thrill of crossing boundaries we'd never dared approach before. Lisa's fingers dug into my shoulders as her soft moans grew more intense, filling the intimate space between us. We lost ourselves in waves of pleasure, experiencing sensations beyond words. Throughout our intimate exploration, our attention remained captivated by Verr and Mary. We watched their passionate moments with fascination, taking in every moment. Each subtle movement and tender gesture amplified our own arousal, creating an electric feedback loop of desire. Verr and Mary met our gaze with equal intensity, their eyes reflecting the same desire to eternally preserve this extraordinary moment. As Lisa rested against my chest, catching her breath, Mary approached with graceful determination. The soft lighting caressed her silhouette, highlighting her graceful movements. "Shall we push our boundaries tonight and discover new pleasures together?" she purred, her voice a perfect blend of sweetness and seduction. As she drew me into her embrace, Lisa intuitively rose and gravitated toward Verr. The sight of Mary's flawless form before me, a vision I had only dared imagine in my most private thoughts, felt almost dreamlike in its reality. Our kisses deepened with passionate exploration as my hands naturally found their way to her full breasts. The lingering warmth of Lisa's touch still tingled on my fingertips as I discovered Mary's sensual landscape. My desire intensified steadily as our magnetic attraction grew stronger. Her body revealed new dimensions of allure, distinct from Lisa's familiar curves. Beyond the visible contours lay hidden treasures unique to her form. Each unexpected dip and curve surprised and delighted me with their particular placement and scale. Her body fit perfectly against mine, as if we were meant for this moment. Like an artist's masterwork, our forms merged in perfect harmony. The pleasure coursing through me reached new heights of passion. Lisa's passionate sounds from nearby only heightened my arousal further. Our shared ecstasy grew more intense as time seemed to dissolve, our rhythms and breathing becoming perfectly synchronized. As we reached our climax together, Mary's sweet whisper tickled my ear. "I'm so grateful we shared this incredible moment. We were right to seize this opportunity." We remained intimately entwined until dawn, basking in our shared warmth and connection. The next morning, sunlight streamed through the windows as we gathered in the living room, sharing coffee and reflecting on the surreal events of the previous night. A newfound comfort settled between us. All barriers had dissolved, leaving us feeling like lifelong friends. After a leisurely breakfast, Verr and Mary bid us farewell with warm hugs and promises of future gatherings. During our drive home, Lisa opened up about the evening in ways I'd never heard before. Her candid vulnerability drew me in completely, revealing layers of her personality I hadn't known existed. We both felt our connection deepening with every word shared. The transformation in Lisa after that night was remarkable. Her style gradually evolved to become more confident, and she carried herself with a new air of self-assurance. Her smile became more frequent, more genuine, and she began voicing her thoughts with refreshing directness. Our marriage blossomed into something deeper, a partnership built on complete trust and understanding that transcended ordinary romance. We'd found a deeper level of emotional intimacy that we hadn't known was possible. Meanwhile, our connection with Verr and Mary evolved into something meaningful, moving far beyond casual tennis partners. Our weekend matches now naturally involve switching up our tennis partnerships, each of us instinctively complementing the other's playing styles. Once a month, we come together to celebrate our special bond, sharing intimate moments that strengthen our connection. This unconventional arrangement has brought an unexpected vibrancy and joy to all our lives, enriching us in ways we never imagined possible.